So he went to America twice. First as a younger man, and then secondly at a later stage in life. So the first time was in 1892, and he went there as an ambassador of this modern Calvinist movement that he was a part of. So he went to talk to English-speaking Reformed people who needed to know that being Reformed should lead you to think about all of life for the glory of God, and all of life in an intentionally Christian way, rather than just, Reformed as the 5 points of Calvinism and, maybe pedo-baptism if you really take it seriously. But instead, it's being Reformed is this huge life vision in a kind of Kuyperian sense. But in that visit, though, he had this idea of travel as an art, and that involves not passing judgment on the foreign. So he's very, appreciative of and attentive to difference, and doesn't want to say whether it's good or bad in that phase of life. But he came back to America later on in 1908 to give the Stone Lectures at Princeton, and by that point he had completely given up on the elegant traveler way of thinking, and he was publicly polite while in America, but his own notes are full of critical observations, and some of them are they're quite entertaining to read today. Like, American teenagers are really rude, and Dutch teenagers are very polite, and all that kind of stuff, which is just quite fun to read.
Nothing changes. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I think it's probably changed in the Netherlands. Dutch teenagers can be pretty rude too. But one of the things that he pays most attention to is race in America, and it's the thing that he was, I think, truly shocked by. And I guess you have to remember that at this point, the Netherlands is an ethnically extremely homogenous country. It's much more diverse now, but so the whole experience is a really interesting one for Bavinck. But what he was really struck by in various places was it was just racialized hatred, and even the segregation of Christianity along racial lines. He left all kinds of notes in his diaries, but also there are whole manuscripts where he's written about race in America, where he's tried to read literature by African Americans as well, to try and understand what they have to say about their experience. And he was really fearful about the future, that this would lead to increasing violence. And he used this again in the Netherlands to tell people, don't emigrate. So he was really fearful that the American experiment, as he saw it, would fail. That the only hope for it was what he called the path of religion, but by that he means obviously the Christian faith, which is, he says, this is for all people, teaches that the whole of humanity is of one blood and needs one savior. But he was really fearful of how Christianity, as it was developing in America at that point, wasn't able to meet the needs of its day because Christianity was also divided along racial lines as well. So the things that he writes about race are really striking. I mean, the reference that you made there, Jim, to what he was told by a Southerner, and he doesn't say who this is, but a Southerner told him that African Americans aren't human, for example, that they are half human, half ape. I mean, things like that really, really shocked him. Bavinck was also very attentive to the latest developments in biology, evolutionary science, and so on. So the kind of stuff that he was hearing there was really shocking to him, but also just because of his commitments to the organic unity of the whole human race. So yeah, that really left him kind of shaken quite deeply, I think.